Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a look at Super Saiyan Son Goku, Legendary Super Saiyan. Yeah, quite an anticipated figure for me. Unfortunately, the UK being the UK, for whatever reason, gets these figures incredibly late. This originally released in, was it November in Japan? But yeah, I think it's pretty much a meme at this point that I get all the official figures late and I get the third party stuff early. But yeah, let's take a look at the box, shall we? So you've got standard Figuarts packaging. You've got a nice picture of Angry Goku. Are you talking about Krillin? That scene. You will notice on the promo shots, the hair is not painted. Now it's got sort of shadings, like older style Figuarts would. But yeah, for whatever reason, they went back to the old style instead of continuing what they did with Trunks, which I thought looked, frankly, a lot better. It's still got that more yellowy plastic that they used for Trunks, but yeah, I don't get it. I thought the sort of pale yellow colour lended itself better to the Namek saga specifically. But yeah, you'll also notice the proportions on him. We'll come back to that. Super Saiyan Son Goku, spelt the actual English translated way, as opposed to the auto-translate, which is Goku, Legendary Super Saiyan. But yeah, looking at the back, again, some more poses, some nice pictures. Again, take a look at the proportions on these promo shots. I don't know what went wrong, frankly, between like the prototypes and the actual production figures, because I'm going to say it right now, the proportions are off. I don't know why most every other YouTuber that reviewed him has said he's basically the second coming of figures, but I'm here to tell you he's not, unfortunately. Like, he's amazing, don't get me wrong, but those proportions are just off. Like, I don't know what Tamashii were doing when they came up with the production of this guy. Yeah, for some reason we've got a recycle sticker. Don't know why anyone would throw the box away. Like, that's part of the value of these figures. And distributed by Cosmic Group, which is pretty much this side of Europe's distributor. So yeah, designed by Tamashii Nations in Japan, Bandai Spirits made in Vietnam. Probably lends some credence to the proportions, I don't know. And the seal of quality is actually pretty poorly printed for me. The holofoil's there, but it's quite blurry. Not sure why. But yeah, let's take a look at Goku himself, shall we? So yeah, in fact, before we do, let's do the usual, get through the accessories, and then we can talk about him. So it comes with 4 heads, or 4 faces, I should say. One that comes on him in the package. You'll notice he's kind of shiny looking, sweaty looking. They didn't really give him a matte finish, unfortunately. But the stern face looks really nice. The one that comes on him in the package. He also has a smirk face, which doesn't look quite as good. It looked a lot better in promo images than it does now. Come on, camera, why are you not focusing? Is it because of the sheer shininess of him? There we go. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's the darkness of the lips or what have you. It's causing that to look a bit off. Angry face. That looks really good. Do like that. He does have the sort of scratches from being battle damaged, but they're not painted in any way, which is fair enough. And the full-on yelling face, which looks good in the promo images, but for some reason looks quite cartoonish now. Almost looks like the genie from Aladdin in proportions. I see what they were going for, but yeah. He also comes with an extra bang for the standard Super Saiyan with a bit of flashing on it. So you pop that off, the standard one, pop that on, and that's him facing off against Frieza for that one episode where it looked a bit off. They kept changing his hair. Yeah, but I would guess it's because of all the wind and such on Namek. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the standard Super Saiyan hair. And he also, for some inexplicable reason, comes with an entirely different head, which is a bit tighter to put on. Spoilers, I've already tried it. There we go. So, yeah, for some reason, they thought they needed to include an entirely different head with just a slightly different style to it, just for the screaming head. There we go. So that looks good. Do like that. It does stick up a bit more than the standard Super Saiyan head, but really, would you have noticed? I'm not complaining, it's a different head, but I mean, for whatever reason, they moulded even the front bangs completely different, so these do not fit on this head for some reason. Not sure why they wouldn't just make it exactly the same. That way we'd have two different heads to use. But as you can see, this one's indented, this one isn't. So yeah, bit unfortunate there. But what you're going to do, pop that back there, pop that back on him, like so. So yeah, in terms of hands, he comes with a pair of Kamehameha hands with the pegs for his Kamehameha effect. Comes with, oh, I'm dropping them, a pair of Ki Blast hands, which again look really nice. Pair of Kamehameha hands without the peg, same sculpt, just these ones don't have the peg on them. Pair of kind of pose martial arts hands. These are brand new, I recall. No other figures came with these hands, so that's quite good. And finally, a pair of full-on martial arts posy hands, which are the standard ones. I believe Gohan came with these, as well as Demoniacal Fits Martialist Forever. So yeah, that's it for, oh, almost forgot. It comes with the Kamehameha, which I joked about in Gohan's review that we were going to end up getting a million of these. They've already started. This one is a lighter blue than Gohan's, and it's also got some white highlights to it, which I think makes it pop a bit more than Gohan's. But yeah, really like that. I really like this new mould for the Kamehameha. Just hope they don't like rip it like they did the original version. Can we get some actual blast effects, Tamashi, instead of these power-up effects? Thank you. But yeah, let's move on to the figure himself. And yeah, like I said before, I don't know what other YouTubers are on about. Like, his proportions are definitely off, especially at the neck and kind of at the hips. Although I think I know why the hips look so off. But yeah, the actual details he's got are on point. They are amazing. Like, he's got some shading on the legs, which you can kind of see at the hips. There's a lot of paint apps on the feet. He also has some new articulation at the feet, which I'll show off in a bit. But yeah, for whatever reason, all the other YouTubers were right with the chest. For some reason, his chest is a slightly different shade of skin tone, which isn't nearly as noticeable in person, but when you've got a camera and high-powered spotlights on it, yeah, it's going to show up. But yeah, as I said, the hair's got some shading on it. Don't know why they bothered. I quite liked it without. Looked more like the Namek saga, but there you go. But yeah, all in all, I like the look of him. I just wish he was better proportioned. But yeah, just in terms of the whole thing, really, like, let's go over articulation first, shall we? So his head can look up really far. Can't really look down any. In fact, you start pushing the head out if you do. It is on a barbell joint, just a double ball peg. So he's got that 3.0 range mixed in with the neck movement. So there's a lot of movement there. The arms can get really far across. Like, that's some of the best articulation I've ever seen, to be honest. Yeah, that butterfly joint is really good. Again, it's just a bit, I don't know what to say about it, fiddly, because there's not really a specific place for it to sit, so I just sort of push it back. That gives the arms a bit more proportion. Yeah, his arms can go up that far. Full swivel with no issues whatsoever. Bicep swivel. Double joint at the elbow. Gets past 90, but he has really big muscles at the biceps, so kind of difficult. Standard ball hinge at the wrist. Goes on and off really easy. The ab section can go back that far, can go forward that far. A lot of movement at the waist as well, so a lot of good range of motion. Just unfortunate again that compared to the promo images, the ab section is a bit squished, which again adds to the out of proportion look of him. This section is just a nightmare. It's soft rubber. You can actually see here it's supposed to sit on this ridge at the waist, but it doesn't. It sits higher than it, which means pretty much all the time it's going to look as if his legs are riding up his trousers. The hip section is again too wide compared to the actual hips. Compared to this section here, it should not be sticking out further. So again, that's adding to it as well. It's a soft rubbery piece, which I think is the root of all these issues. They've tried to sort the the complaints that people had about not being able to kick backwards with the 3.0. So now he can, because it does get out of the way, because it's a softer rubbery piece. And he can kick up really well. Just unfortunate that the way they've designed it, the legs stick out more than they should, which is a bit of a shame. He does have thigh rotation. The actual joint in there seems to be on a ball joint, which itself moves about. Double joint at the knee. Gets decent range for everything that's floating about. Unlike the original Warrior Awakening Goku, this guy doesn't have any swivel at the upper leg, which is a bit unfortunate. The feet have new articulation, which means you can actually move the hinge itself. There's a ball joint at the upper foot, which means that you can move it to give him a lot more range, whichever way you need to. So yeah, you can see it moving back and forth there. And toe articulation. And obviously the ankle pivot is pretty good on there as well, because of how they've engineered it. So yeah, all in all, this figure is the first upgrade to the 3.0 body that we've seen. People are calling it 3.5 or what have you, which I do agree with. Like, it's just a shame that some of the engineering choices have hurt the figure. With a bit of fiddling, he'll look good on display, but he's never going to look perfect. Like, here he is next to Deano Fits Goku, which you can see Deano Fits Goku, his legs are splayed out more, but he's still slightly taller than this new legendary Super Saiyan Goku, which shouldn't be the case. Like, I don't really understand why the proportions are so off. Like, if they upped the abs slightly and upped the neck, he would be the right height, which would probably help his proportions tremendously. But yeah, I suppose only thing left to do is quickly check if these heads work on him. So let's pop this off. Pop this off. And first things first, let's check the Deano Fit one. So that went on really easy. Yeah. It pops, but it's quite loose. You would need some blue tack in there to sort of keep it in place. That's sort of working, but yeah, you move it too much, it's gonna make a mess. It does look good on there though. I do have to admit, like, I really like that. Makes a nice 3.0 Goku, until we get some official or Deano Fit or Kong or Tonsonart Toys heads. There's a lot of them coming. Let's see, from his power down point where he sells Frieza, he's done. Does that fit? Not really. That's not going to pop on there at all. It probably will, but I don't want to stretch the plastic. But yeah, let's what about the angry face? How's that? Oh, that fits a lot better. That's actually tight. Why is that? I mean, it looks a bit goofy being so high up and such, especially with that stupid genie face he's got. But yeah, why is this head tighter than the normal one? That's weird. the Super Saiyan Goku is literally just out the box. Like, I don't understand that at all. But yeah, I suppose leaving it off the peg for a while would probably tighten it back up, so you could use it on the demoniacal fit body. But yeah, guys, all in all, I do love the figure. I just wish it was better proportioned. I know I keep going on about it like a parrot or a budgie. But yeah, I'll probably be doing some modding to this guy, specifically the head, to make the neck look longer. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.